So we will make our affirmation of love and inviting you to settle into your space, to feel yourself present here, and to also feel the presence of love. This love that is the ground of our being, the fabric of the universe, and as close to us as the air that we breathe. We just allow ourselves to rest into that. Allow it to affect us as we move through our time together. So many of us have been exposed to the Christian tradition and the idea of the gospel being the good news. And I always wondered, what is this good news? And 2,000 years down the road, there's all kinds of theological teaching about it. But as I look into what Jesus said and did, I always wonder, what did he really think was the good news? So for me today, I'm going to offer two pieces of good news. I personally think that Jesus would be in agreement with me. And the two pieces of good news is that love is, and you are soul. So let me read a little bit. You all know I've been working on a book. I have been writing a little bit about love. And in this section, I'm writing about the fact that I am not writing this book from the point of a lot of dogma, doctrine, beliefs. And then I said, having said all of that, there is a foundational tenet that I espouse very strongly. So much so that it might qualify as a dogma, though I prefer to call it an absolute conviction. It's something I am absolutely convinced of. I'm absolutely sure that love is. Without this foundational tenet, none of what I suggest in the book or in this practice works. And you may say, well, yeah, of course, everyone knows that love is. Hold on, though. I'm taking this idea way further than you may have ever thought of or experienced. I certainly hadn't grasped it until quite recently. I'm saying that love is. Love is at all times, in all places, in everyone. I'm saying that everything is suffused with love and that we can never be outside of love. I'm saying we're not separate from love ever. I am saying that you don't have to feel it or see it in any way for it to be true. I am also not saying that you should just trust or believe in it because I say so. I'm saying that you can know and experience it. It will take an open mind and an even more open heart, but with attention and practice, you can experience yourself as walking and living fully in complete connection to love at all times. I know this because it has happened to me. So, love is, and you are a soul. And soul is not all you are. You are also personality and ego. There are many parts of us. But we have spent our entire lives giving almost all of our attention to those other parts of ourselves. And we miss this underlying hidden part, the part of us that's hidden from most of us most of the time. So here's something that I wrote about soul. The soul is your original being. It has always been with you. It always will be. Before you had language or even coherent thought, you were soul. You are a very particular and unique soul, not because of your genetics or life experiences, but because you came into being as a special gift to the world, the one and only soul that will ever be you. This should be humbling and deeply awe-inspiring. It should cause you to hold your soul with deep reverence. Let me introduce you to this part of yourself. The soul is the true I. It is the sense of flow and aliveness. It's what holds all the parts of ourselves, the glue to ourself. It's eternal. It inhabits this body on the earth for a short time in this one body, you. The soul is ancient and wise. It's also childlike, fresh, and new. It is open and undefended. It has nothing to protect. The soul can be hurt, it can ache, but it is not wounded or traumatized. It is the part of you that knows, but it is not the thinking mind. It is what interfaces with the ultimate ground of all being, love. It is the mediator of true connection with all other beings. It's what connects us to what is beyond us. It is all this and more, much more, because the soul is infinite. Much of the soul can't be named or explained. It can only be experienced. Last weekend, I was in a gift shop with my friend Francie. And there was a sweatshirt in the gift shop, and it said, "Mountain air heals the soul." And I pointed it out and asserted, that's not right. Actually, it offended me a little bit because it suggests that my soul, and by extension, your soul, is broken or unwell in some way. And it's not. You can put that thought out of your head right now. The only thing that has gone wrong is that we've lost touch with our soul. We can tell each other, we do all the time, tell each other about ourselves, about the things that happen to us. But if I ask someone at a cocktail party to tell me about the experience of their soul, some uncomfortable silence will undoubtedly ensue. So, mountain air doesn't heal the soul. What mountain air does is it breaks through our ego defenses. It touches our soul and it reflects our soul back to us. So when we are in beauty, when we are in nature, and we feel that touch in ourselves, the awe, the wonder, we are actually experiencing what's most true about ourselves in that moment. And what is most true about ourselves already It's not some aspirational thing that someday I will have the strength and stability of that mountain. My soul already has the strength and stability of the mountain. The practice of surrendered presence, what we do together each week, and I fervently hope that you will decide to do on a very regular basis, possibly daily, is a journey to our own soul. Every time we do it, it's a journey to our soul. In the practice, the ego falls away as our mind gets more and more quiet and we begin to experience the depths of ourselves, our soul. And it's that knowing, that practicing of knowing ourselves outside our familiar ways of being that we have to practice because we've become disconnected from our soul. We have lost touch with a direct path back to experiencing and feeling our soul. So it takes us 10, 15, 20 minutes in our practice of surrendered presence to get to that sense of soul sometimes. But with regular practice, we can develop this shortcut so that we can go from one moment being wound up about whatever the situation is around us in the world to dropping immediately and deeply into the true part of ourself that has complete access to love. So hear this good news. Your soul is whole, vibrant, alive, wise, fearless, hopeful. It's always at peace with itself and with the world. Your soul dwells continually in love. Let's practice together. Recalling once again the presence of love here with us. It is love that holds us in our practice. So I invite you to drop now down into your own experience. And we begin with the physical body. We begin by simply noticing what is here now in the body. So I invite you to begin with noticing your feet. Noticing your lower legs. Noticing your upper legs, your buttocks, your lower belly. Noticing your solar plexus and your chest. And a reminder that you are simply noticing without any need to change any of your experience. Whatever is here is what we notice. Notice your shoulders and your back. Notice your arms and your hands. Notice your neck and your face. Notice your entire body as a whole. And now grounding yourself in this experience of your physical being. Begin to include your inner experience. Begin to include the quality of your heart. Notice any feelings, emotions that arise. Notice what kind of energy is present in your being. Notice the state or quality of your mind. And notice your thoughts. Notice even if you're wound up by your thoughts or distracted by them. Just letting it all be exactly as it is. And now beginning to notice your surroundings, the room in which you're seated. What sounds do you hear? What do things look like? See if you can feel the air touching your skin. All these things that tell you you're here. And then letting your awareness extend beyond your four walls so that you feel here on the land that you're inhabiting. So that you feel here on the earth. So that you feel that you are in this moment now. See if you can get a sense of your own presence as a whole. Body, mind, soul, heart. And we deepen our presence by shifting our awareness, staying connected with ourselves and our being, but drawing our awareness to our feet on the floor, or where our body is coming into contact with our seat. And we begin to notice the way we are being acted upon by the force of gravity and the way that we are being drawn into the earth. The way that we are being held here. Get a sense of this experience of being held. Noticing that you don't fall over, you don't drift off. You are grounded. And you're not the one doing the grounding. You're the one being held. And when you know this, you can let go. You can relax. When we let go, when we relax, yes, gravity catches us, holds us. And that other great force in the universe, love, is what will ultimately and always catch us. It is into love that we can relax and let go completely. So, bringing now your attention to your breath, just following it in its cycle of drawing into the body and then following it as it is released and let out of the body, following it as the lungs completely empty. And just be an observer of your breath, watching it in its cycle. And now, really giving your full attention to what it feels like when the breath is released. And every time we come to this point in the practice, we recognize our breath, our body as our teacher and how to let go. It lets go over and over and over again. It releases what is no longer needed, what will even be toxic to the body if we hold on to it. And it trusts that the next breath will come. And when you feel stabilized in your presence, your own presence, when you feel a deep experience of feeling what it's like to let go, then just follow that out breath all the way into complete surrender, letting go of everything, thought, the sound of my voice, directing your attention anywhere at all. So you just let yourself go into love and simple being. And if you have some degree of stillness inside yourself, looking deep, seeing if you can experience this soul that I'm talking about. Feel yourself come home to yourself. As always, thank you so much for being here with me, practicing with me, and supporting my own practice. I love you all.